Hi kids, welcome. So right now I'm trying to come up with a point on which I can start suing. You understand? So in the end I can draw a conclusion on that because boy do we love that. Drawing conclusions on things. We do this because that so if something is a foreign, it's not even a concept, it just is. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's not labeled, so we need to put a label on it, like L from label, and we can box it in, we can put it in our system, and that way we can use it with cause and effect, for example. So the the problem, if it's a problem, the obstacle here is that we have been taken basically this handy tool, which is the tool of creating systems. It is a system of itself, and it put labels on everything. It's why. Okay, so from youth we have been conditioned to put a label on things. This is a wooden donkey. This is Einstein. When being young, when being a small kid, this is not a wooden donkey and this is not Einstein. This just is this shape with this certain feeling. And that's how I recall a lot of things from my youth. It's just certain shapes which make me feel a certain way. Sometimes I get those back. It's obnoxiously nostalgic. So we've been conditioned to put labels to this. So this is a figure of a donkey. It's made of wood. Now I can work with that within my system. It just basically it can just save a lot of information and work with that. It's a really handy tool. It's impressive. We human beings have created a lot of impressive systems. For example, right now, let's say artificial intelligence. We are only scratching the surface of that. And it's genius in a lot of ways. It's genius in the if you are into systems, like we all are, because we're all operating, or 99% of the people are operating on the systems, which can work really good. But this tool, I will just call it the tool from now on, the thinking mind, the tool, it has hijacked everything, basically, by calling itself I, me. Now, what is this tool? Let's talk about this. What is there me about this tool? So what do? For example, let's say, okay, good example here. This is a book about the war crimes of the United States of America. Now, in this book, I learn about what the writer of the book knows and thinks about it, his opinions. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about everything, but I am basically being conditioned by my immediate surroundings to have a certain thought pattern on things and have my relation to that thing. What I'm trying to say is that my mind can be changed. It's hard, but it's possible. I can change my mind about how I think of the war crimes of the United States. There's a small chance, but it's possible. By the way, I'm not trying to attack the United States here. It's just the first book that came into my field of vision. It's fluid. My ideas are fluid. My relationships to things are fluid. My relationships to people are fluid. My relationships to complexes, to the world, to objects, to concepts, it's all fluid. And that means it's not me, because it can be influenced. It's just we all grew up being conditioned to do this, to label everything, feelings. We start labeling them to make them understandable and make things measurable. That's science. Now we did that with ourselves. So we call this us, me. I am this. That's me. Hello. And this creates a problem in a lot of people. I see this in my immediate surroundings. So let me explain it. This here is our tool. I'm going to call it tool. I'm going to stick with it. It's cool. This is our tool. A lot of times we have a duality within us. I see this and I experience this myself, for example, with certain thoughts, labeled bad thoughts. First of all, we humans, we are capable of what we labeled monstrous things. We're monsters. We have the potential to be monsters, to be barbaric, to be beastly, if we can say it like that. That's wired within us. That's our survival system. It's part of this thinking mind. Now, okay, let's say I experience a bad thought. This is the bad thought. I'm standing on the edge of a high building. Okay, well, this is called the empty void effect or something, so maybe it's not a good example. So let's say it's an extreme example, but a lot of people have this. So I should unalive myself, you know. Then immediately, or most of the time, something in us is ringing an alarm bell. That's a bad thought. That's an unhealthy thought. That's not good. That's not us. Let's solve this. That thing, those stream of thoughts, they seem nurturing. So that's where the duality comes in. Duality. So here we have the bad thought, and here let's call it the angel thought, the hero. So I'm gonna draw 2 wings with this halo on top of it. It's like, oh, it's okay. And this could be with any problem. A lot of times people reinvent themselves and they say, listen, this was me, it's not me anymore. This is over. I am new. Now, the thing with this is that there are no two. It's the same thing. The thing itself created the problem which itself solved, and eventually the thing that solved the problem will become the problem itself, at which a new thing, it seems, will be there to help that problem. It's an infinite cycle. You won't get out of it, trust me. The thing itself is the manifestation of the problems itself. We always try to find solution within the confines of this tool. It's like I go to your house and I light it on fire, and then 10 minutes later I show up and I'm the hero. I'm gonna save you. Don't worry, I'm coming. And then I put out the fire and then I save you, have you in my arms, and I say, it was nothing. It was nothing. You know, that's the tool. And every time I light your house on fire and I save you, you know, I stab you, and then I take care of your wounds and say, ooh, the cold soul that did this. What a bastard. But it's me. You understand? Now, so this is a problem. And then you're like, okay, so now I know that it's an infinite cycle of problems. So what? How is this ever going to help me? I think this can help you. At least it helped me. And it was, and this is tricky. It's not easy. Come to the realization that this thing that labeled itself as me, as I, is just a very small, basically 1% of all the consciousness that there is. In fact, I can't even give a percentage to it, as it is infinite. And this, we come to a quick stop here, because I can try to name infinite, but all I would do, my tries would be futile, because all I'm doing is just making signposts to this thing which cannot be named, as it is infinite. And once I start naming it, it ceases to be infinite. It's very beautiful. It's here in the Tao Te Ching. It's verse 1 or verse, I don't know if this book does verses, but right here. And I will read it, at least the first part. So, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Here we come to, here we circle back again to the beginning of this monologue that I'm holding here. The beginning of things is where we start differentiating between this wooden donkey and this bottle of organic perfume. We all have this I feeling. It's for needs of survival. It's coming from our lizard brain, if I can say it like that. I can't say it like that. And what you need to do, or what you don't need to do anything, but what helps me is to seize, and this can be scary, but it brings you a whole lot more. You need to cease thinking in the way of the individual. That's where I'm stopping myself, because this is getting very confusing and so broad you do not actually have anything to start practicing this philosophy in everyday life. It's useless. It's like mysticism. We wrap this thing in such a big cloth of mystery and magic that you think that you do not need to attain something to get there. That you need an external thing to get there. Oh, I need this book. Oh, I need this course to understand this, so then I'm whole. This is the mistake we always make. The only thing that can make us solve these problems is by accepting that it is just the tool, the thinking mind, that does this. You're not going to solve it. You're not going to do away with these bad thoughts. What you need to do is just be conscious of when it throws this up. It puts it in the spotlight. Then you just look at it and don't judge it, because judging it makes your angel come through the back door and basically hijacking the experience that this is, that me is, again, which will create an infinite cycle of unsolvable problems. Just be aware of the thought when it enters, of the problematic feeling, of the anxiety I literally feel here when meeting new people. Be aware of that. Just be aware. Just feel it, experience it, don't judge it, just be there. And you'll see that in the light of consciousness, these things will start fading. You're always running from this monster. you never even dare to look around. And when you do, you'll find out it is just a real small puppy that just wants to be acknowledged. That's the lesson. Have a good one.